Good to go? What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the infamous Hollywood Tales, recorded here at Jam in the Van in West LA. If you haven't been here, it's located right in the heart of West LA on Motor Avenue between Venice Boulevard and Pico. And coincidentally, this place is an ex-rehab center. Did you know that?
No, I did not know that. Clearly, I know why it's an ex-rehab center.
This place used to be a rehab center. And the Jam in the Van guys acquired it. And it's this multiplex, outdoor, indoor, the green room. You haven't seen the place yet.
Not the whole place, but I have seen the green room.
As soon as we're done, I'll give you a tour. But it's a whole crazy, awesome place. Just go to jaminthevan.com. They do stuff here in LA. They go on the road. They're at South by Southwest. You guys have a location in Austin too, right? Isn't it one of the vans like posted up?
Wow.
The concept was they had a tour bus that they renovated into a recording studio.
Right.
And like really, famous artists, in fact, would come in and like
Jam in the Van.
right.
Ah, that's the
So
name.
so
Let's
go
see
on
how that
YouTube
works.
and just go to Jam in the Van, and you'll, God, the list goes on. Questlove, like you guys had a lot of Wolf, by the way, Wolf Ramirez.
Wolf jammed in the van?
Bro, this guy's a classically trained, fucking awesome musician.
I
Are
love
you
that.
classically trained? You play like you are, or you're just a music snob.
Have they ever eaten jam in the van? Yes. They have. They've jammed jam in the van. I like it.
So Wolf Ramirez is behind the scenes. You can't see him. We're trying to set up a camera for him at some point. He doesn't want to do it. But at some point, he's the guy who like edits, produces, like does all our shit here. So thank you, man.
Good for Wolf.
And Jake Chassler, Dave Bell, the guys who conceived, I guess, this place and are the owners. Jake Chassler, the building manager. Is that his title? Venue manager.
Venue manager.
And Jack Higgins, who's the creative director. And this place is awesome. So just go to jaminthevan.com. Back to you. I have to plug this place because, like, I'm just trying to promote this place.
It's
fucking-
awesome.
yeah,
This place is fantastic. I can't believe what I saw when I walked in, seriously, and I can't wait to see the rest of it.
So we met at the Improv, right?
No.
Where'd we meet?
First
initially?
time we actually ever met
Here we go. Here's a
was
Hollywood
like
tale.
1997 or 98.
At Dublin's?
Better. Messina's house on a Sunday.
Messina.
Rick Messina.
Ooh, this is a Hollywood fucking tale. You know who Rick Messina is?
We
Who
met.
is he? Hold on. Who is he?
No, man.
Bro, this guy managed the biggest comics on the planet.
He's Tim Allen's manager.
Tim
He
Allen,
managed
Drew Carey.
I mean, the list
He
goes
was a
on.
big. Well, those were his two big.
Those
like,
are his two, yeah.
Those were his like money makers.
Right.
But then he managed a bunch of like.
Janine Garofalo
Yeah.
and,
Yeah, Rick
managers.
Messina. I remember Rick. I went to his house. Rick Messina. You know what? We're gonna start this podcast with a Hollywood tale. We're not
Yeah,
gonna
we
end
are.
it. Rick Messina's house, Wolf. It was the Playboy Mansion meets Dodger Stadium.
Yeah.
He had remember he had a baseball.
He built
he built like
a
baseball.
wiffle ball stadium. He bought this house, then bought the house next door, then expanded the whole driveway out, redesigned the place, and built a.
But the
freaking-
pool, and he had parrots. Remember, he had like a
Yes,
parrot cage.
Absolutely. And on Sundays, he would open it up for comedians, guys only.
And he would have weed rollers, professional at if you're bartending,
yeah,
they weren't serving drinks.
he had the pot bar.
He had a pop bar, bro, and a guy with the bow tie and a tux
With roll joints.
would sit there and roll professional joints and just hand them out to you like one by one.
Yeah.
You're like, this is the best fucking party I've ever been
And all
to.
the guys would come up on Sundays. We'd play wiffle ball and swim
Bro,
and
Tim
cook
Allen,
at the end of the
Drew
day.
Carey,
Janine Garofalo.
Margaret Cho. I
Margaret
think,
Cho
was up
for a little
there.
while. He had Jeremy Kramer. I mean, literally, the list just goes on and on.
How did you know him?
I met Messina when he first moved to California, and he was sleeping on John Mulrooney's couch. And back then,
This is another good Hollywood
Back
tale.
then, I was a guy with a triple beam scale who sold weed to other comedians. because I was barely a feature act at the time. So I supplemented my road work by selling pot, and I met Messina because I sold him a bag of weed.
He loved weed, and he still does.
Yeah.
But you're from the East Coast originally.
Originally New York, yeah.
And how did you land in L.A.?
My family moved here when I was in junior high. So I went to Van Nuys Junior and Van Nuys High School.
And you're like, what, 15?
I was 13 when we moved here.
Right.
And then I've been back and forth 4 different times living in New York, studying acting, and I studied with Stella Adler and, doing stand-up. And New York was a town that I really wanted to work in, so I moved back to New York for several years and worked all over the city for a long time.
What was your, I guess, what ignited you to want to come to L.A. and do this stupid fucking thing?
God, what an idiotic business we are in. People don't understand.
No, I'm always fascinated. What's your reason?
Well, I
It's a
started...
little therapeutic.
I know.
I know my dad beat me a couple times.
And so that's why I'm funny. No, I have it in my family. My cousin is a major...
You're Italian, right?
Jewish.
Chassler?
I tell people it was Chasslerini, but no, it was actually Chester when my family came over from England.
So Richard
Rich Chassler.
Chassler.
Right.
And you're what?
100% Jewish.
But
American.
American?
There's Dutch and French and Russian, Latvian. My dad's side of the family.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
For some reason, I thought you were Italian.
Everyone does, and it's because
You act like you're Italian.
it's the New York thing, and I got cast to play Italians. Like my 20s and 30s were always like Babagoo Ladoon, the Gabagoo. Now that I'm older, and they're casting me to play Jews, but I'm American. Pretty, I'll eat grilled cheese.
What got you into stand-up comedy?
Well, I was acting. I was an actor since I was a kid. My cousin's a big-time Broadway actor, and his father, my uncle, was the voice of Howdy Doody and Popeye.
Oh, really?
And all the Simon Bar Sinister.
What do you mean the voice of Howdy?
He was one of the biggest voiceover guys.
Really?
Yeah, my uncle. His name's Alan Swift.
Can we peg that?
Yeah.
How the voice Howdy?
Yeah, he was
That's a credit.
a credit.
Bro, I remember Howdy Doody.
My uncle was
Wolf?
Popeye.
A
My
lot
uncle,
of people don't know.
Yeah, my uncle was the voice of Popeye.
Like in the cartoons?
Yeah.
He was a voiceover actor?
Yeah, my uncle was a big-time voiceover guy. He was the voice of...
I don't know if we can't...
On Underdog, if you pull up Underdog,
No,
he's...
but I'm saying, can we... legally, can we post these images or...
Sure. He's not alive anymore. And I don't think my cousin
No, I'm
cares
just saying,
about the rights.
can we put, an image of, copyright infringements or whatever?
Oh, of Popeye.
I
or
don't
something
know.
like that. I'm not sure about
I got
that.
kicked off of Twitter recently. So
I got kicked off of Twitter
I don't
also.
really know what's going on anymore.
But yeah, he was the voice of all the underdog. Other than Underdog, who was Wally Cox, he was all the underdog characters, Simon Bar Sinister and Riff Raff.
Is that how you got into the industry?
Kind of. It was just sort of in the
Inspired,
blood.
yeah.
And I just sort of started doing it when I was in first grade. I was a child prodigy drummer. I started playing drums when I was 7.
Oh, nice.
And I was playing in jazz clubs when I was 10 in New York.
Do you still play?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So,
I didn't know that about you.
I still play drums.
You know, this is why I love this podcast, man. I invite people that I think I know, and then we sit down and have a recorded conversation.
He's like, I didn't know
I have
that.
witnesses.
Really? You're left-handed? I had no clue.
Interesting. You're adopted? I didn't
What?
know.
Yeah, I've been a drummer since I'm 7, and I toured with a Grateful Dead tribute band for several years. Even while I was doing stand-up, I took on another form of performing. And so I was on a soap opera when I was 20, got fired.
Which one?
Santa Barbara.
You were on Santa Barbara?
For a very short period of time.
I think that soap opera had a short run, didn't it?
Yeah, it did a few years.
It
And
wasn't like Days of Our Lives or
No,
Young
I
and the
wish.
Restless.
That
Santa
would've
Barbara
been
had
great.
6 seasons.
Maybe. Yeah, if that. I mean, you're in Santa Barbara. How big is the place? What are you going to talk about for more than that?
Right.
But they fired me. And
Is this your Hollywood tale? Or?
oh, it is a Hollywood tale.
All right, tell me.
I was only on set for a few weeks, and I'm watching A. Martinez and Robin Wright, who married Sean Penn, and
Right.
all these actors.
She was on that show?
Yeah, and Rory Calhoun, and I'm watching all these actors work, and then they talk to the director through the camera, and it was my first professional acting job. So I was a nobody, and I had under 5 lines on each episode I did.
We call it an under 5 in Hollywood.
Right. So I one day I had gotten a line wrong and I looked into the camera and I said to the director, "Hey, Bob, do you think we can go back and do that scene again? I didn't nail this thing I was really feeling."
And they fired you.
They didn't need me on set.
Yeah.
No, so they
I get
fired
it.
me.
They don't need you.
Right.
I get it. You're disposable. That's why I hate acting.
We are disposable. And I got a job at Paramount Studios as a guard where I met, wait, this is a real Hollywood tale.
Where the
I was 20.
Where the fuck is this going?
I was 20 and I met Mark Price when he was on Family Ties.
Who's Mark Price?
Skippy from Family Ties. Do you know Mark?
Yeah, vaguely. Yeah.
Mark is the one who was like, "Hey, man, you're so funny. You should be doing stand-up comedy." And I was, "Oh, I'm an actor."
Why did you work there as a guard? Just to make money?
Yeah, and to be around the business and to try and get my headshots into casting offices. And
See, that's what here. So if you're listening to this podcast, this guy right here, this is what you call the hustle. Sometimes you take a job lesser than you are, that you think you're deserved,
right.
and you use that job to hustle your thing.
Yeah.
A lot of people won't do that. I do that.
You have to do that.
I've done it.
That's
I'm doing it now. Look at me. I'm in a fucking.
You got to do that. That's why I said I'd come feature at Sea Legs. Are you kidding me? I'll do anything to work. It doesn't matter to me. I have no ego about it.
Bro,
What do
I have my humility factor is like
Yeah.
on the zero factor.
If you try to maintain that in this business, you'll never work. You just got to be willing to show up and do what's needed, because sometimes it's going to be less than your talent or less than your experience or less than where you think you should be. But you're lucky to get whatever it is you get.
And it is luck. When you landed in LA, right?
Right.
Like out of the East Coast, you're on
Right.
the East Coast, right? So you get to LA. What's your plan? Like where do you land?
I was a kid, so I was still in school. So I went to junior high and high school. But by the time I was in high school, I was starring in plays. I knew I wanted to be an actor. My parents were not about supporting it.
Yeah.
You're going to be a lawyer. Well,
Me too.
That didn't.
Muslim,
Right.
doctor, lawyer, own your own gas station.
Right. Jew, doctor, lawyer,
Right.
own your own gas station.
Something
That's
like
really
that.
what it was. And I knew by the time I was in 11th grade that I was going to fucking be an actor and nobody was going to stop that.
Did your parents support you?
No, they threw me out. I was
me
homeless
too.
for a year in
Really?
the car.
Me
Yeah,
too,
they
dude.
cut me off, man.
Bro, my dad said, "You ought to go into Hollywood to be an actor. Are you a gay?"
My,
And I go, "Huh?" And he goes, "You're a gay." And I was like, "A gay? That's not even a term, bro.
you're just one single gay.
Like, there's only one gay.
You're
guy
not
out
many
there."
gays. You had one gay. My father.
And he cut me off. And then my mom, I packed my car with all my shit. My mom, I remember, I'll never forget this. My mom gave me $20.
Oh, at
And
least you got $20.
She folded it up. She gave me $20, and she goes, just in case. This is all I got. And
Don't spend it all in one place.
I looked at her, and I was moving. I was actually living at the time. I was. This is so
funny.
embarrassing.
This is so funny.
I was living with Vince Vaughn
Right.
on his couch.
Okay.
I was a struggling actor, and I was like taking acting classes, and I was waiting tables, and I was just like, like working,
Right.
trying to like do it,
Mhm.
And I was living on Vince Vaughn's couch. He wasn't Vince Vaughn at the time.
Right.
He was like pre-swingers
Sure.
Vince Vaughn, but super talented. I met him on the after school special. I talk about it on some of my previous podcasts. So I'm not going.
So you are a gay then?
I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna recoil the story, but if you watch, he's on. He did my podcast,
Right.
actually.
No, I know that you and Vince
And
are
Peter
friends.
Billingsley actually did.
I
the
love
podcast.
Peter Billingsley.
So anyhow, long story short, yeah, I slept on his couch and was trying to be an actor, and being an actor in LA is not easy. I worked as a waiter.
Yeah.
I had a personal training job. I was doing acting classes. I was like, the competition was rough, but it's like if you want to make it in this industry, you have to have that fire and tenacity, right?
That's the only thing that's going to keep you moving is tenacity.
Right.
I was a waiter. I bartended. I pulled.
Where did you wait tables?
Oh, let's see, the Good Earth restaurant
In LA here?
in Marina Del Rey. At the Good Earth?
Where? At the fucking, I know. By the Ralphs or whatever?
Yeah, there was a Good Earth restaurant there. I waited tables there.
Yeah.
I waited tables at a restaurant on 3rd Street called Barefoot.
I know Barefoot Cafe.
Yeah,
I used to eat there.
I didn't last very long there.
Why? What happened?
I probably opened my mouth. I just talked and they went, you're fired.
Do you know Eric Mills?
No.
Eric Mills is a good friend of mine. Eric Mills, this motherfucker's badass.
Right.
His dad is Ed Mills. He's a character actor.
Right.
He was in Casino. He used to date, Carrie Fisher.
Sure.
Right? Like, he used to coach her, actually. At any rate, you remind me of him a little bit. Because we met at La Masia.
Oh, I loved La Masia.
You were around for that?
Was one of my dad's favorite restaurants. A lot of people don't know.
Interesting.
It was right next door to Dantana's.
All right. This podcast is dedicated to my friend Eric Mills.
All right, Eric.
I used to work at a place called La Masia. It was a very quick stint.
Love that place.
I was there maybe like a month and I quit. It was too intense. So it was right on Santa Monica Boulevard next to the Troubadour.
Right.
And it was a
Spanish restaurant.
Spanish tapas.
Yes.
But it was like the staff, the people, like the way, gay as Christmas. Like Broadway gay. Right? Like flamingo gay. Which I didn't mind. I was like, all right, I'm cool.
Right.
So I get a job there. I get a job there as a waiter. And I roll up, and it was intense, man. Like, loud music,
right?
Flamenco dancers.
Yeah.
And
it was a really flamboyant restaurant.
It was very flamboyant.
It was a very flamboyant restaurant.
You couldn't hear people. Like, everybody snapping their fingers. It was intense. I took the gig. I quit after a month.
Right.
I was just like, not because it was gay.
Right.
I just couldn't hear anybody.
Right.
So my boy Eric Mills, who, by the way, and to his credit, and God bless him, Hollywood Tales spawned from him.
Right.
So during the pandemic, I was doing Zoom comedy shows.
Yeah, I did a bunch of them.
I didn't. I did like 5.
I did a few.
I did like 5 because I thought it was bullshit. That's not what stand-up comedy is.
Right.
But he happened to jump on one of them. And I tapped him in. I was like, hey, it's my boy Eric. And I kind of unmuted him. And
Right.
go ahead, talk. I gave him power. Right? I empowered this guy. Long story short, a lot of the people that were watching the thing or the Zoom show, were messaging me who's that guy with the great voice? And he's amazing, and you should.
Wow.
So I messaged him and I was like, hey man, a lot of people complimented you. They said you have a great radio voice.
Right.
We should do a podcast. He's like, okay, I guess. I don't know, man. I've never done that. Sure. Whatever. All right. I'm down. Yeah. What does it take? Just tell me what I got to do. That's my friend Eric Mills.
Well, completing sentences is a beginning.
When you watch this, Eric, you're going to hate me, but that was a pretty good impression of you.
Oh, yeah?
Anyhow, he's my brother and a best friend. And we did an online, virtual podcast during the pandemic.
Right.
And then we phased it out because he got busy. And then when I wanted to revamp it, we did it here at Jam in the Van. And,
right.
But he doesn't live here, so he's not here.
Oh, bummer.
I
would love to meet him sometime.
Yeah, you will. You remind me of him a lot. You actually probably met him. He's a real famous, he's kind of famous in his own way.
Right.
He used to be friends with Guns N' Roses.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, he has Playboy Mansion stories.
I got Playboy. I got all these. Growing up in L.A., it's really hard not to have stories.
Have you been to the Playboy Mansion?
Oh, my friend in high school worked in the pantry. His sister was the bookkeeper for the mansion.
I don't know if I want to hear this.
So we used to go up. Yeah. Yeah, I've got a couple of mansion
Bro,
stories.
Hold on. Should we? We can bleep it out. What happened? What happened in the pantry?
Well, the pantry was what they called the kitchen the pantry. So my buddy's job was to deliver food to the guests staying in the mansion, or to Hef. If Hef wanted food, he'd call down to the pantry, bring me up a tuna sandwich, whatever he wanted. And my friend Paul, his job was to I guess I said his name. Oh well,
We can bleep it.
was to deliver the food
Can we bleep it?
to.
You better know.
Oh, now we got to bleep it twice. And his job was to deliver food. And one day, beep, was delivering food up to Hefner's room, but Hef wasn't in the room. And his, those famous smoking jackets he has, one of them was on the bed. And so my buddy picks up the jacket and rolls it up and puts it on, and he wears it to school the next day. He's like, yeah.
He stole Hugh Hefner's
stole
jacket?
Hefner's, yeah. He was working.
What's wrong with people?
I don't know. He was 17, but he did.
I know.
He copped one of Hefner's jackets and wore it.
What happened?
He just wore it around school like he was a suave, debonair
Did
17-year-old.
Hefner
They never knew.
Nobody knew?
From what I remember, he continued working there for a while, and he would sneak us up. We would pull in he had a pickup truck, and he would cover us up in the back bed, drive through the gate, and then we would come up to the circular driveway. We would get out and we'd go in the house, and yeah.
Bro, I think that's one of the best Hollywood tales I've ever
Yeah,
heard
he
in my
took us
life.
down to the bowling alley, and we bowled one afternoon at the mansion. I think I was 16. Yeah. I mean, you grow up here. It happens,
What's next for you?
What's next for me? I'm recording a special on September 7th at Genghis Cohen.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're doing. You want to plug that? Tell of.
Yeah, I'm recording a special with an album. It'll be a video special and an album called Boy Out of New York. And I'm recording that at Genghis Cohen here in Los Angeles.
It's a really fun place on Fairfax.
Yeah. It's got some of the best Chinese food in the world, which I guess is the best place for a Jew to record an album, is a Chinese restaurant. I mean, I don't even know why they serve matzo ball soup on Passover. It should just be egg drop soup and, orange chicken. But so I'm doing that, and I've got some road stuff coming up in August. I'm doing a couple of casinos in New Mexico.
Who represents you?
We have the same commercial agent.
Adam.
Yeah.
No, but as a comic.
Danny Robinson at APA.
And they get you booked and you're out there?
Look, you can have agents, but you still got to be on the phone.
You hustle
30
your
fucking years I've been doing this. I'm
Right.
still on the phone calling bookers.
Right. So what percentage of gigs are you booking on your own?
99.
Right. No, I know. I just want to ask. I just wanted to confirm it because I feel like having an agent or a manager these days is irrelevant.
Who are you with? Do you have anyone for PAs?
Me.
That's the way. Me too.
I thank me.
Yeah.
I love me.
Yes, and you pay.
I
me.
call me. I do me.
I give 10% of my money to me. Yeah.
I don't rely on anybody because I know people are just unreliable.
You
Especially if they don't believe in you. But you know what? That's okay. You have to kind of believe in yourself in the beginning.
You got to believe in yourself. And I've been doing stand up now, literally 34 years or something like that. I've been doing it, and when I started, I was doing 40 weeks a year for 25 years. The last 10 I've slowed down.
Do you do the cruise ships or have you?
Well,
I'm
the
about
thing.
to.
Now, do you have 2 clean 45-minute
I just
sets?
submitted. So I just got Don Casino.
Yeah.
I just submitted to them.
Right.
Don Casino.
Isn't that Bruce Smirnoff?
Yeah.
Yeah, Bruce. Well, there you go.
No. Bruce is. I love Bruce.
Babe,
Bruce
you want to come work the cruise ships?
But it took me 2 years, bro, to submit a real weird squeaky clean set. They didn't approve my stuff for years because they were everything, it's too Middle Eastern, it's too Muslim,
It's too edgy. It's not family
No, not
friendly.
edgy. No.
Oh, that's what I get.
It's too Middle Eastern and too Muslim. I'm well, how come the black comic talks about being black, and how come the Mexican comics talking about being Mexican, and how come the why is that? Why are we an exception? And he was like, well, you know, like he kind of told me, like, I get it. You're touring in front of Middle America, and 99% of the people are going to like you. One Karen or Darren
Right.
is going to call HR and say, we were uncomfortable.
That
Muslim guy
Dude,
scared me.
your stuff is so funny too. I'm Pharaoh. What is the when you talk about being Egyptian? What's the punchline on that? I'm Pharaohic. Pharaonic. God, that made me laugh so freaking hard the first time I heard you do that joke. And it's so great because you're just making a point.
Well, it's not even making a point. It's just like calling out facts,
Right?
And in a comedic way.
Yeah.
So going to that point, and we'll wrap it up. How much time?
Oh, really? Already? Bummer.
Where we at?
I'm having a good time.
Yeah, we're because I got Nikki Paris coming in.
Love Nikki.
I got Katie Kazorla coming in.
Love Katie.
Everybody's coming in hot today. We're banking episodes today. And Wolf, thank you, man.
Well, we'll have to have me back for a full hour.
Bro, come back as a guest host or like
Anytime you
sometimes
want.
it's just fun to like have a comic and I'll just sit back and
I would love
you
to.
can ask questions. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I'm actually starting a podcast pretty soon at another network.
Which one?
Third Wheel.
We're gonna kill them.
They're dead. We're burning them down. I want them dead. I want their family dead.
Dead on arrival. Dead. When I say dead, I mean dead. I mean dead. No, seriously, come back and like, it's really loosey goosey here. So
It's really cool, by the way. It's a good vibe.
I want to ask you one question and then just like one Hollywood tale, if you
Sure.
don't mind. Cancel culture. Chris Rock getting slapped. Chappelle getting tackled. Like, artists just getting like physically attacked on stage. What do you think of that? And if it happened to you, what would you do?
Well, all right. So it's a two-part answer because it happened.
We got 10 minutes.
All right. So
Five.
here's what I think. First of all, fuck anybody who thinks they can strike an artist for the artist displaying their artistry.
Agreed.
All right? If you don't like the song, turn the fucking station.
Right.
If you don't like what I say, turn around. There's an exit sign.
Or
use it.
Or just don't show up.
Or don't show up.
Yeah.
These are jokes.
Yeah.
They are based out of irony.
Yes.
If you don't understand that, you shouldn't be going to comedy shows. Comedy is not for the weak, no matter how you slice it. But artists, and I don't care if you're a chef or a painter or a dancer or a comedian
You know what?
or
So
a
funny you
singer,
said chef.
I don't care what your form of artistry is. You have a right to express yourself. And if you don't like how the artist expresses himself, it isn't your place to try to put the artist in his place. The artist is already in his place. That's why he's displaying his artistry. So I'm not about anybody striking a comedian or jumping up on stage to stop a song or hurt. No. That person is the person at fault, not the artist. And I'll say it 100 times, this is the United States of America. You have freedom of choice. I always say it, if you don't like the song, change the fucking station. Don't call the station and complain that you don't like the song. Listen to a different station. That's how I feel about cancel culture.
I think you kind of wrapped it up.
Yeah. I really believe that.
Richard, your best and quick Hollywood tale.
Oh,
and
man.
it could be funny, dark. It could be whatever. Just in like 1 minute.
You want it to be inspirational?
3 minutes.
Here's an inspirational Hollywood tale.
It could be inspirational.
It
sure.
just popped into my head. When I was a guard at Paramount, I became friends with Michael J. Fox. And if I saw him today, it would be a big hug. Like, we spent some time together back in the day. And one day he
from Family Ties.
From Family Ties.
He's still alive.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
And so Michael J. Fox got this brand new Ferrari that his agent bought him after Back to the Future came out. And I saw him one day after he was leaving the soundstage. He's like, "You want to go for a ride and check out the car?" I said, "Sure." We get in the car and we pull out of the Paramount gate. We make a right. We're sitting on the corner of Melrose and Gower, and these people recognized Michael J. Fox through the window of the car. And Michael goes like this, "Meet me over there." And with me sitting in the passenger seat, he pulls the car over in front of Astro Burger on Gower and Melrose, gets out of the car and signed autographs for about 15 people standing on the corner.
Now, when you were working on the lot, were you the guard when the people like came in?
Oh, I work the main gate sometimes. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've got pictures of myself at the gate. I got pictures of myself on the Starship Enterprise smoking a joint. I did drugs off the Cheers bar. I mean, it was it was the 80s. Everybody did drugs off the Cheers bar. You weren't a real actor if you didn't do drugs off the Cheers bar. That's what we did.
All right, guys. This was one of my favorite episodes.
Really?
And we have a lot of them, man. But you know what? Another one in the bank.
Ahmed, thank you so much for having me.
Brother, thank you, man.
Really, I appreciate it.
Another great episode of Hollywood Tales recorded here at Jam in the Van. Come to Jam in the Van.
Yes, come to Jam in the Van.
Check this place out. Just go to the website, jaminthevan.com. Music, comedy. Wolf Ramirez, thank you. Jake Cutler, Dave Bell, Jack Higgins, Jake Trainer, everybody who works here. It's an awesome multiplex of artistic beauty and integrity. And we're out. See you next time.
Super cool. And follow me at Rich Chassler. All my stuff is Rich Chassler. Thank you, guys.
That was fun, man. Thanks.